Let me thank Senator Menendez. Senator Markey, thank you for your leadership in bringing us together on this extremely important issue. It's good to be here with Senator Booker. So we are here with a common objective. The people of Maryland understand just what the Chesapeake Bay and what our coast means to our way of life. I've met with watermen who understand the challenges of the day. A clean bay is critically important to their livelihood, and they know the risks of an oil spill, what it can mean to their future. Tourism's critically important in my state, and they understand what an oil spill would mean if beaches were closed, or the impact it would have on water quality and tourism in our state. Most Marylanders live in the coastal regions. Property owners understand the risks to them in the event of an oil spill. Chesapeake Bay represents about $1 trillion to our economy. It's not worth the risk to start oil drilling off the mid-Atlantic. It's not worth the risk. We saw with the BP oil spill. This is not a simple matter. We still have not cleaned it up 5 years later. The risk factors are just too great when you recognize what the benefit would be in additional energy supplies, potential oil supplies to the United States. Environmentalists and experts on weather tell me that if there was an oil spill in the mid-Atlantic, that over 70% of the time the prevailing winds would draw that oil directly into the coast and into the bay. So this is a real risk factor that we're talking about. This is not a hypothetical factor that we're talking about. The energy supplies today are minimal compared to the risk factors. We've asked all the stakeholders in the Chesapeake Bay to do their share. Our farmers are stepping up. Our local governments are doing what's necessary to deal with water quality. Developers have restrictions. It's just not fair, they would say, that they're going to make those sacrifices, all to see lost by a potential oil spill. They're just pristine areas. We recognize that on the Pacific. We recognize that in the Arctic. We should recognize that on the east coast of the United States. And we should not have drilling that could risk our group. Senator Markey pointed out, Senator Menendez pointed out, there are better ways. You know, our energy policies are reducing our energy needs in the United States. Senator Markey's absolutely right. Let's take a look at offshore wind. Twice as much energy return, twice as much jobs. Then we could talk about a way that we can become more energy independent and have better energy sources and be friendly towards our environment and create more jobs without the risk factor. I talked about the dollar value that it would affect my state, but it affects really the way of life of Marylanders. They don't want to see this, and they have a reason why this should not be done. So I will continue to do everything along with my colleagues to make sure that we do protect that unique way of life that we have on the east coast of the United States. There's a better way for an energy policy for our country. And with that, let me introduce Senator Booker, who has been one of the great new leaders in the United States Senate on this and so many other issues.